Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share in everyone that you can. Just out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. How y'all doing? I know it's been a long time since I've been back, but it's been pretty eventful. I ain't gonna lie. But I appreciate y'all, man. How y'all doing? Hey, take your shoes off before you come to the house. The rules have not changed. I might get like a sign somewhere say take your shoes off over there. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing? I appreciate y'all for tuning in and always sticking with me through everything. But we got some action. We finally got some action. We got some news. So Georges Niang, the Celtics trade Georges Niang. He spent 43 days as a Celtic. He is a guy that has never lost a game in a Celtics jersey. So shout out to you, brother. We trade him in two future second round picks to the Utah Jazz for rookie RJ Lewis, who came out of St. John's. So what this trade does, the Celtics completely get off of the Kristaps Porzingis contract, even though it was an expiring contract worth $30 million. The Celtics were able to get completely off of that contract before the start of the season. Kristaps made $30 million for his last season of that deal. We trade him to the Atlanta Hawks for Georges Niang, who makes 8.2. We get a $22 million trade exception, which is the difference between those two contracts. And then we ship Georges Niang off to the Utah Jazz for RJ Lewis. Now, the thing about this deal, one, it saved us $40 million in tax penalties, of course. Now the Celtics are $10.7 million under the second apron, and we are $1.77 million over the first apron. So the Celtics are really close to being under both aprons. So there might be some other moves coming, I don't know, but the Celtics have completely flipped their financial situation from the beginning of the offseason to this point now. Trading Jrue Holiday, trading Kristaps Porzingis, you do get worse, of course, but the financial situation is now not something that we are worried about. And when Jason Tatum comes back and we're able to compete again with our top player, we can now aggregate contracts, and we just have so much more room to improve when Tatum does come back. And that's not even account for what might happen with Anthony Simons, who was in the Jrue Holiday trade. He's making $22 million, but he is also in an expiring contract. So depending on what the Celtics do with him, how he plays this season, if we end up trading him at the trade deadline, I don't know. But that is still a place where the Celtics can get $22 million more in saving if somehow we let him go or we trade him in a financial in a like salary shaving type of move. So okay, with RJ Lewis, he played at St. John's last year. I believe he was their best player. He averaged 18 and 8. Not much of a passer, not much of a shooter. I think he shot like 33% from 3 last season. But he was a guy that I thought that was gonna go like late second round. He ended up going undrafted, but he was like a priority undrafted guy. So not somebody I really think we should like be prioritizing, honestly. Because if you look at the young wings that the Celtics already have, we drafted Ugo with the 28th pick. He's athletic, guy with a great size on the wing. He's a great offensive rebounder. He's a great cutter. His swing skill is shooting the ball, right? You got Jordan Walsh, great defender, lanky, long arms, athletic as hell. His swing skill, shooting the ball. We signed Josh Minot from the Timberwolves, 6'8", great frame, great athleticism, can switch, got his long arms. What's his swing skill? Shooting the ball. Like, we don't need any more like non-shooting wings that do, like, they all do the same thing. It's just which one of them can do those things and then develop a reliable three ball. So RJ Lewis like falls into that category. I'm still gonna do my work on him for as long as he is a Celtic, but I don't know. But the real thing about this is that each NBA team has 3 two-way contracts, right? RJ Lewis had already agreed to a two-way contract with the Jazz. I didn't even know that you can trade two-way guys. I just found that out today. So sorry if that was loud, but yeah, I just found that out, right? That you can trade two-way guys, and he had already agreed to his two-way. So the Celtics trade for a two-way guy, maybe that was just the only guy that the Jazz were willing to give up, and he made the least amount of bread. So we were just trying to get off as much contract as possible. Sure. But now all of our two-way contracts are filled up. Max Shoga signed a two-way. We had Miles Norris on one, and now RJ Lewis is taking up that third spot. With our 46 overall pick, Amari Williams still unsigned. Now, if you've been around my channel, you know that I love Amari Williams. This is somebody that I thought, especially with the 46 overall pick, is somebody with a very unique skill set, and is somebody that I think that could really thrive in the Celtics system, being a guy that can really pass the ball. I thought he was the best. I think that he's the best passer, the best passing big to come out of this draft cycle. He showed some of that in Summer League. He definitely showed that in his last season in Kentucky. But I'm a little nervous about that now, because if he gets a standard contract, great, but I don't think he can. I don't think they're gonna go from 46 overall pick to playing in the Summer League straight to a standard contract. I don't know if that's plausible at this moment. If they do, fine. That means that they've seen enough in him to where they're like, okay, that, hey, this guy should be on our team for, this guy's guaranteed on our team for a couple of years. So that's fine. But I'm getting a little nervous about what this means for Amari, plus the signing, which we'll get into, former Raptor Chris Boucher. So yeah, I don't know what's happening. We still do have an open roster spot. There's been a lot of talk about Charles Passy, who, in my opinion, should have been already signed, if not here, somewhere else. Like, somebody should have took a chance on him. I don't know why the Spurs didn't re-sign him. But they have gotten Kelly Olynyk, who they traded for, of course. Victor's coming back. They just signed Luke Kornet. So actually, I'll take that back. It makes sense that they didn't sign him, because they just got like two veteran guys. But like, some team should have been able to take a flyer on Charles Passy, especially when you add in how he played in the Summer League. So I thought the Celtics should have been all over that. But it is what it is. So yes, the Celtics, we do get worse. If you look in the totality of all of the trades that the Celtics have made, trading Drew Holiday for Anthony Simons, trading Kristaps Porzingis for Georges, and then trading Georges for RJ Lewis, who I don't think he's gonna be on the team. So we do get worse, but like, we started the offseason with like $540 million in tax penalties. We shaved that down to 220. Now, I'm not the owner. That doesn't really mean much to me, but when you shed 300 M's in tax purposes, it's going to help your team in the long run. So, and then of course, we get under the second apron by $10 million now, and we're only $1.7 million over the first apron. So now let's get into the Chris Boucher signing. Chris Boucher has been a target of mine forever as a Celtics fan, especially the last two seasons. Now, the year that we won the championship, we elected to go Xavier Tillman, which at the time was the complete right option. When Xavier Tillman came to our team, there are centers like Bam Adebayo, and then there's Anthony Davis, right? After those two guys, I truly believe. Now, go back to my channel. Go look up Xavier Tillman film session on this channel. I detailed that man to the nail, bro. After those two guys, Xavier Tillman was the best switching five in the league. Now, you don't really expect that from a guy with his build, right? It was generational how a guy built like that was that quick laterally. And I'm not just talking about him switching on to regular guys. He was switching on to Luka Doncic, switching on to Devin Booker, KD, Trae Young. Like, he switched on to everybody. And he ended that season as the 12th most impactful defender in the NBA. And last season, he just showed none of that. Like, he had some knee problems where you could obviously tell on the court that he was not moving the same that he was. Like, the switching was gone, the lateral quickness was gone, and coupling that with him already not being a great shooter and not improving in that area with his defense being gone, now that just shines so much more. So it was a rough season for Xavier Tillman. Hopefully he can get back to something. But we do have a logjam at that power forward center position now. Chris Boucher again is a guy who can really stretch the floor. He can attack closeouts. He's 6'8", 6'9" with very, very long arms. So he has the frame to switch. He can block some shots. He can finish lobs. He is a good cutter. And he's a guy that just does a little bit of everything, right? And especially last season, I believe was his best season. I do want to say last season was his best season. I remember him playing like out of his mind. He was a guy that I wanted us to target last season. It makes less. The only thing I would say about this season is that it makes less sense to get him now with Tatum out and then like doing all the Drew and KP trades because we're worse now, and it's not as clear as it was before or like a season ago that the Celtics are looking to compete like we're trying to go for a championship by any means, right? We had the roster to go for a championship the last 2 seasons, and it was clear, right? And we were gonna do everything in our power to go towards that. Now with Tatum being out, the trades of Kristaps and Jrue Holiday, we don't really have a championship roster. So signing Chris Boucher, it just makes a little bit less sense now than it would have if it was last season. Now, the one thing I will say is I believe Chris Boucher, we signed him for what, $1 million, 3.3. He is better than $3.3 million. So, and he played that way. Last season. So, something else that can be in play is we signed him for less than he's worth. He of course plays up his value and trades, or we could re-sign him next season. So he is slightly older than I thought he was. He's like 32 years old, but he's a guy that can shoot the ball. He can defend. He can cut. He's a smart player. He brings extreme length on the perimeter and inside. So I do like Chris Boucher a lot. Just hopefully, and yeah, something else with Chris Boucher is that like we bring in another 4/5. He's gonna play a lot more 4 than 5, but we're bringing in another like big man type of person, right? So we have Kata, we have Garza, we have Tillman, we have Boucher. Hopefully, we have Amari Williams. I don't know, but that's like 5 to 6 guys that like we may play. We don't really know who's playing. I believe Kata is gonna start this season, coming into the season, but the Garza signing makes absolutely no sense now. It didn't make sense to me at the point. It didn't make sense to me when we signed Garza. It makes even less sense now because first of all, they gave him a 2-year, fully guaranteed $5.5 million deal, no team option. They gave Josh Minot a 2-year deal with a team option. And Garza was signed. I think that was our first signing. Like they was acting like people was like lining up to sign Luka Garza. Like it was such a competition that they had to give him a 2-year fully guaranteed deal. Now Garza has not gotten a fair shot in the NBA at this point. He's a guy in college that was such an explosive scorer. I think he's a better shooter than his percentages have shown, but he's not a guy you should be giving a 2-year fully guaranteed contract to, especially when Boucher is signing for 1 year, 3.3. Now, Boucher is getting more money per year than Garza, but if you're gonna give Garza a 2-year contract, like I don't know. So, but and then Amari, who like you just drafted him. Again, I think he has a very unique skill set, and he's unsigned right now, and he's not on the roster. Like he's like not on the roster right now. We have an open roster spot, and then you have a guy like Charles Bassey. So I think I would rather have, of course, Kata, Boucher, Bassey, and Amari over Garza. That's just me. And again, he hasn't had a great chance yet to show himself in the NBA as of yet. So we don't know what Garza is, to be honest, but I think I have an idea of the player, right? And I would just rather have those 4 guys. But obviously he's a guy that can be traded. He can be like a sweetener in a deal. The Celtics are now able to aggregate contracts being out of the second apron, so you never know. that could have just been like, okay, we're gonna give him this, we're gonna bless him, like, but this is a tradable contract, and it's not like a 1 million type deal. This is like a 2.5 where he can actually like help us in a trade scenario. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's wild, but I do love the Chris Boucher signing. But it just seems like the direction that the Celtics were going as to like, hey, maybe we're gonna just take it a little slower this year. Chris Boucher signing, they're like, okay, we're actually trying to win some games. So I don't know. I do like the signing. I like Chris Boucher's game. The trade for Niang, I think it does its purpose. It saves us cash and all that. So pretty cool with the two moves that we're just going like the individual of those moves. I'm pretty cool with them. But again, what does this mean for Amari? We do save bread. Chris Boucher, like, he's probably gonna start at the 4 for us, Chris Boucher. So yeah, I don't know, but appreciate y'all for sticking with me. I'm gonna put my new Twitter down in the description. Yeah, my Twitter is got hacked. I thought I got back into it for like a day, and then it just went straight back to shit. I was logged out of everything. Don't got my email, don't got the phone number, so that shit is cooked. But I'm gonna put my new Twitter down in the description. I'm glad we got some action, so I can start to push some more content out for the new Twitter, and just to be back on YouTube with you all is a good feeling. So I will see you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share in everyone that you can. Just drop there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.